What a man may find is that he spends a lot of time thinking about what it would be like to be in a relationship. And during this time, he can end up feeling good. And he may also feel whole and complete. And while this may mean that he has never been in a relationship before, this might not be the case. And through having such a strong need to be in a relationship, it may be hard for him to focus on other areas of his life. And so due to the energy that he will channel into the need to be in a relationship, the need to be with a woman, other areas of his life will end up being neglected. And there could also be moments when he is able to repress this need and to carry on and to focus on other things. And so during this time, this won't be on his mind. He won't be thinking about being in a relationship. And then before long, he can end up thinking about this area of his life again. And when this takes place, he can end up joining at least one app and other websites in order to try to find a woman. And he can end up also going out as well to different places, different spots where he believes he may be able to find a woman. And there is also the chance that he is often on these kinds of sites and he is often out in certain areas trying to find a woman anyway. And once he finds a woman who he is drawn to and who is drawn to him, he may end up taking the next step. And so this is likely to show that he won't be very discerning. And due to how strong this need is, this is not going to be a surprise, because he will want to be with a woman. And this will be what really matters to him. And once he is in a relationship, he may find that he does feel whole and complete. To use an analogy, it can be as though he was running towards the finish line and now he will be there and he will have made it. That will be it. It can be as though his life is now complete and he has achieved everything that he wants to achieve. And before long, he could end up feeling the need to pull away from the woman, or the woman could end up pulling away from him. And if the latter takes place, he could end up feeling rejected and abandoned, and he could soon feel the need to do what he can to bring the woman back, to bring her closer to him. And then after a while, the relationship could come to an end. And if it does, he can end up again feeling rejected, abandoned, and worthless. It could be as though he is in a very deep hole. And due to the pain that he is in, he may even have moments when he thinks about ending his life. This will be how severe the pain is. And if he was able to reflect on his life, and he has been in other relationships, he may find that this is something that often takes place. So when a relationship comes to an end, he usually feels this way. So he will be used to experiencing a hell of a lot of pain. And so before a relationship, he can feel quite low and empty. Once he is in a relationship, it will be as though, as I said, he has completed a race. He can be on top of the mountain. And then once it comes to an end, he can be very low again. And so it's going to be a very rough ride for him. And at this point, he may have got to the point where he can no longer tolerate living in this way. He can no longer tolerate being down and then up and then down again. And so he will want to find some answers. He will want to find a way to change his life. And if he was to look into why he experiences life in this way, what he may find is that it is due to what took place during his early years. And upon hearing this, he may struggle to understand how this is so. His early years could be one big mystery. And if this is the case, it is likely to show that his brain has blocked out what took place, and this would have automatically taken place to protect him from the pain that he was in. So during his formative years, and so the first few years of his life, he may have been brought up by a mother who was emotionally unavailable. And so she would not have been there to give him the emotional nutrients and the love and the affection that he needed in order to grow and develop. And when she was there, she may have provided him with misattuned care, so it would have been out of sync with what he needed. And so this would have harmed him, this would have caused him pain too. So he would have experienced pain when he was left and pain when he was given attention in a lot of cases. And through having these experiences, he would have had to repress how he felt and to gradually lose touch with himself. And he would have ended up being in a traumatized, stunted state. So many years will have passed since that stage of his life. But as he didn't receive what he needed and he didn't go through the second birth, the emotional birth, he won't have received what he needed in order to feel whole and complete. So now that he's an adult, emotionally, he will be stuck in this dependent state. And the child part of him will be looking towards other women to complete him. And this will take place through transference. So this child part of him won't realize that other women, or when he is in a relationship, another woman is not his mother. And this is why he will believe, or this part of him will believe, that once he is with a woman, he will feel whole and complete. And it will also be why he ends up feeling the complete opposite after and before, because this is what took place. And so while he will have the need to be with a woman and to feel whole and complete, there will also be another part of him that fears being with a woman, because his mother would have traumatized him when she was there, and so he won't have a good view deep down of human contact. So this is why there can be times when he ends up pulling away, or times when the woman ends up pulling away, because part of him will believe, will hope that this time it will be different. It will be different with these women. So his mother wasn't there, but this time it will be different, as I said, through transference. So in order for him to feel whole and complete, and to know that he doesn't need to be with a woman to feel whole and complete, he will need to face and to work through these unmet childhood needs, because not having these needs met would have caused him to experience a lot of pain. And even though many years will have passed, this pain will still be locked inside his brain and his body. And so through letting go of the hope and working through this pain and moving out of this dependent stage into an interdependent stage, he will no longer be looking for the same thing. He will be different. The women he is drawn to and the woman he ends up with will be different, because he will be able to truly connect, to share who he is, to give love and to receive love, because unconsciously he will no longer be replaying what took place during his early years. So if you're a man and you can relate to this, you can see that unconsciously you have been looking towards a woman to feel whole and complete, and this has brought you a lot of pain, a lot of misery. Then you may need to reach out for external support so that you can gradually work through your unmet childhood needs and to slowly transform your life. If you would like to find out more about the services that I offer, please go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk, and I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.